Who is the best Power Rangers villain? I was given this challenge question recently, and here are my responses, and I would love to read yours too in the comments section down below. And we're going to go through the Zordon era and include Lost Galaxy just for fun. So think of this as the best Power Rangers villains of the 1990s. When it comes to the first category, most iconic, who is the most iconic Power Rangers villain? I have to go with Rita. When people think about a Power Rangers villain, Rita Repulsa is most likely going to be the first one that comes to mind. She might not have been the best villain, she might not have been the most evil villain, she might not have been the most powerful villain, but she is absolutely the most iconic, whether it's her abilities, her sense of humor, her costume, her design, all of it. I think that Rita Repulsa is the one that would come to mind first. Now the next question. Who is the best designed villain? Which villain has the best design? Believe it or not, I'm going with Ecliptor from Power Rangers in Space. I watched this in the late 1990s, and I absolutely thought, hands down, Ecliptor had the best design. I wanted a suit of armor like that with the black and green contrast. I wanted an entire spaceship with that particular design because I thought that it looked strong. It also looked very smooth and very chic. Like many things in the Power Rangers in Space installments, they really put a lot of effort into trying to blend the original Power Rangers ideas with some science fiction things for the in-space dynamic. Now, this is the one that I think is going to bother people the most, and that is, who is the most evil villain on Power Rangers? Again, Zordon era and including Lost Galaxy. I'm going with Master Vile. A lot of people might think about Lord Zed, but Master Vile was the father of Rita Repulsa, and it's almost as if he's taking things from Rita and taking things from Lord Zed and going a step beyond. It's almost as if that character was written to be just one step beyond Rita and Lord Zed in terms of his evil abilities and just his evil nature, period. And also, as time went by, Lord Zed and Rita both developed this type of odd sense of humor. Rita's attractive and adorable sense of humor really became somewhat annoying, and the same thing happened to Lord Zed. But I think that's the one that's going to be bothering people the most. And if you want to, give your feedback in the comments section, you can. You can always hit the like button and subscribe too. Now, to move on to something that's a little bit easier to talk about, who is the best overall villain? The best overall villain. Now, this isn't just the most evil, this isn't just the most popular, and this isn't just one that I happen to like the character's appearance. Who is the best overall villain? I'm going with Scorpius from Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. Scorpius is a villain who is very ugly, and that's actually important to the storyline, because Trakina, his daughter, is supposed to go into a cocoon and transform into this ugly creature, and she doesn't want to lose her beauty. But yes, he's a very ugly creature, he's not likable, he's also extremely powerful, and that's one thing that really stands out about Scorpius. He is wicked, but at the same time, he also has his own flaws and such. He's not a purely, perfectly powerful villain. He's not omnipotent, even though his power is very intense. I think that one's going to bother some people too, if you're going to say that he is the most villainous or the best overall villain, but that's just my take on the subject. Next we have the villain with the best sense of humor. Even though I am tempted to put Rita Repulsa as the villain with the best sense of humor, I have to go with Ivan Ooze from Power Rangers the movie. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie. And I didn't notice any of this as a kid. Goodness, I was like 8 or 9 years old when I saw that, Power Rangers the movie, and even at that point I was thinking, you know what, I'm too old for this. At 8 years old or 9 years old, however old I was when I watched that, I found a lot of things to be very silly about Ivan Ooze as a kid, but I rewatched Power Rangers the movie as an adult, and I did not catch half of the jokes. I didn't understand that Ivan Ooze was just a dry, sarcastic bastard about somebody who just has to spend thousands of years in an egg. and it's boring. And he just really was a lot funnier for my adult sense of humor than for when I was a kid. But overall, who do you think was the villain on Power Rangers that had the best sense of humor? Now, next we have the most likable villain. Who is the most likable villain on Power Rangers, Zordon Era, and Lost Galaxy? I don't think that this one is going to be too much of a surprise, and I don't think that this is going to be one that's going to bother anybody. And my choice is Tommy, the Green Ranger, during the Green Ranger miniseries, Green with Evil. When Tommy was evil, he was an amazing villain, mind you. And he is one of the reasons why I connected with the Power Rangers series. And it's a combination of being 5 years old in 1993 and really liking the character, really liking the storyline, really liking the designs. The Green Ranger costume and helmet, and even the Sword of Darkness were all absolutely fascinating to a 5-year-old, but they're still fascinating to adults. Tommy is perhaps the most iconic Power Rangers character ever. If you want to dispute that with me, feel free to in the comments section. But ultimately, I think that's just he is one of the villains. He was a villain who went on to become a major part of the Power Rangers franchise. Absolutely, I have to go with the evil Green Ranger, evil Tommy, as the most likable villain. Now, the next one on the list is going to be who is the most attractive villain. I don't know what you guys are going to think about this, but I'm going with Scorpina. Scorpina is an amazingly beautiful character. And again, I was 5 years old when I was watching Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for the first time. And as a 5-year-old, I did appreciate that Scorpina had some very powerful abilities. When she grows, she transforms from her human self into a monster-like creature. But overall, though, I mean, as an adult, it's just kind of hard to take your eyes off of her human form. But also, I think that a runner-up should be Astronema from Power Rangers in Space, played by Melody Perkins. And the only reason why she's not number one is because Astronema was not supposed to be a likable, attractive female character. They really did a lot to hide her features, and once she began living her life out as Corone, then you could see all of that coming through, and of course, a lot of that would happen in Lost Galaxy. Melody Perkins was an amazingly beautiful person. Melody Perkins is an amazingly beautiful person. But those are my top villains for Power Rangers, the Zordon era, and Lost Galaxy. You can let me know in the comments section down below. And I have another very big question for you guys. Are you surprised that Lord Zed didn't make the cut for any of these? Are you surprised that he didn't fit into any of these particular boxes? Believe it or not, I love Lord Zed as a character. I just think he's like number 2 in almost all of them. For me, like, in terms of the most iconic Power Rangers villains, I would put Rita number 1, and then Lord Zed would be number 2. And as I just said with Master Vile, he was somebody who was perhaps a step beyond Lord Zed, and then Lord Zed would be number 2 as well. Now, you may have noticed that I completely skipped over the Machine family from Power Rangers Zeo. I didn't forget about them. All of that was done by choice, and, I mean, I don't think that needs too much of an explanation. It's just, looking back in time, I really am not a big fan of anything related to Power Rangers Zeo. When I was a kid, about 7 years old, watching Power Rangers, I really connected with the story in Power Rangers Zeo, and I might do a larger episode about that in the future. But ultimately, these are my takes on the best villains in the Power Rangers franchise, Zordon era plus Lost Galaxy. And if you are a Power Rangers fan, or you're just a fan of different types of TV shows, please stick around and subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to do a full series review of Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. Going to be covering everything from the whole series, so something to look forward to here on SFM TV and Gaming. My name is Box Ned, and I've been your host. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later.